All right, we are recording. What's going on, guys? Robby here, and once again, I have another success story, and I'm really excited about this one because Jordana has been in Commission Hero for a few months now, and she had some struggles starting out. She's been through literally everything, and now she had some success, and that's why I wanted to. I'm so excited to have Jordana on here for this case study video for everybody because I think she's an inspiration. I think she's just been kicking butt. She's one of the hardest workers and one of the most resilient people I know in the course, and so I wanted to have her on here. So Jordana, so excited to have you on here.
Wow, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Awesome, yeah. So just recently you had a little bit of success. So kind of share that with me and everybody who's watching.
Yeah, so I finally hit my 1K day.
Nice.
And then even better, the next day I hit 2K.
Love
So
it.
it's just
Love it.
growing and growing and growing and growing. It's been amazing. It's been quite the experience because I had zero knowledge about Facebook ads when I started this course.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, like zero. I had people run ads for me. So I've done like some Facebook stuff for my own business.
Yep.
But never ventured in doing it myself. Like I was totally confused and I had no idea how to even read a business manager, what an ad account was, like any of that kind of stuff, right? So to be where I am today from where I was 2 months ago, it's amazing. It's incredible.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So tell me, how did you hear about the course?
I actually saw a video. I saw a video. I was promoting my own stuff, and I was like, I need to do something a little bit different.
Yep.
And I saw a promotional video for your course, and I think it was because you were a CrossFit gym owner,
Yep.
and because I do CrossFit, I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
there was an instant connection there.
That's awesome.
So I checked it out, and yeah, and I jumped right in. I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly kind of what I was looking for. It was like the next step. It felt really good. And
Yeah.
I got the course and dove right in.
Wow. Awesome.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's great. So what were you doing prior to jumping into the course? Like, what do you do for, like, what's your day job and like, what do you do for, what's your background? Give you a little bit of
So
background on everything.
yeah, so I'm also a trainer. So I'm a coach. Most of my stuff is done online, but I also do in-person training. But it centers around fitness, nutrition, and mindset coaching. Uh,
Nice.
Usually one-on-one. So I have offered programs in the past. I've done Facebook ads to like list build and to do different things promoting my own stuff.
Yep.
But I never had anything like this, like back end. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this a shot.
Yep.
And then I realized, like, oh man, I have to learn all of this myself. But I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, the difference is with your course, everything was so easily laid out. Like
Yeah.
it was so perfect. Like just the step one, step two, step three for someone who has absolutely no idea how to do this to someone who's like seasoned and who's doing it for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
There's like nuggets for everyone. And it's the way that it's laid out, it just concisely helps you get from A to B,
Yeah.
really quickly. So
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Now, had you heard about affiliate marketing before, or did you wanted to get into it? And like, what was like your reasoning for jumping in, of course?
I I did hear about affiliate marketing, but I didn't know anything about affiliate marketing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I've never done any affiliate marketing before. Like I said, I was only promoting my own stuff.
Gotcha.
But it was always something that was in the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, I think I want to
Yeah.
maybe delve into this a little bit. And
Sure.
then it's just finding the right like mentor and the right course and the right,
Yeah.
program to help you do that.
No, that's awesome. Now, had you been a part of any other courses or?
For affiliate marketing, no.
No. Okay. Okay. Cool. First one. Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
first one.
that's cool. So how long? It's been what? Almost coming up on 3 months.
It's been 2.5 months.
2.5 months. Okay, great, awesome. So tell me about like just in the beginning, like just getting started out with your kind of your journey in the course, and then kind of leading up to obviously your big breakthrough, which was having your first $1,000 day and then first $1,000 in profit. Like what were some of the obstacles? What were some of the things that kind of you went through? Because I know that you went through a lot of stuff, but you've stuck with it, which is awesome. So tell me a little bit about that.
The Initially it was literally just going through the whole course from start to finish. There were a lot of moving parts, and it really is simple, not necessarily easy, but it's simple, right?
Yeah, for
And initially, what I wanted to do was just run with it, run really, really quickly. And what I found was that sometimes you got to take a few steps back and go slow
Yes.
before you can speed up,
Yes.
right? So the first, yeah. So the first little while, like I had a little bit of success, in the beginning, but because I was diving in, like all in, then I was like, okay, hold on. I need to scale this back a little bit, and I
Yep.
need to start understanding how the whole concept and the whole machine works. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
So the first month was really learning about setting up the landing pages and
Yep.
how to track your pixels and how to create pixels and how to create audiences and how to do all of that stuff, right? And then tweaking that so that I got that to where I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, understanding now how to read the metrics and
Yes.
how to like understand the stats and how to do all of that kind of, so it's been a learning process. And it literally probably took me about 2 months to actually to hit that 1K day.
Yeah.
But now I'm at the point where like, okay, I understand it, and I'm still learning. I'm still like,
Yeah.
it's never ending, right?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's not, it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't
It's
have.
not a quick fix thing. Like it's not
Yes.
something that you're gonna start and you're gonna, you may, but you'll have way more success, I think, in my experience anyway, if you take it slow and just kind of
Sure.
work your way through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people think that it's a a money printing machine, and it can be, but you have to learn how to put the machine together first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's super important. I like what you said too about having take a couple steps back, because when you first join the course or do anything, like you're super excited, you just want to dive in, you want to make it happen, but then a lot of times you end up making silly mistakes, right? Like I think you were doing a couple things in your campaigns that you're like, oh my gosh, then when you figured out how to switch to conversions as opposed to traffic, like just little things like that make a big difference. And it's almost like it's you want to be like a slingshot, right? Like in order to go forward with a slingshot, you have to pull it backwards, right? So
And it's
yeah.
really, really about, I think, building a strong foundation
Yeah, for sure.
and taking the time to do that.
Yeah.
That could be a couple of weeks, it could be a month,
Yeah.
it could be longer, it could be whatever that is for you, but just
Yeah.
really understanding and building that strong foundation so that, and that you treat it like as a business too,
Yes.
not like
Yes.
not like this is something that's just going to make me money overnight,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
You got to set things up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what was like your big like aha moment? Like, because obviously you went from, and it's funny because we did a testimonial video a couple months ago where you had, I think it was like maybe your first, you had $200 day or something like that. And now you're at, 1,000, like I think, what was that? The day that you made $1,000 in profit, how much revenue was that?
How much revenue was it?
Yeah, the second day, like where you had $1,000 profit, how much revenue did you make that day? Was it 2,000 something?
I made 2,000. Yeah.
2,000, yeah, yeah.
Just over 2,000. Yeah. With
Wow.
$1,000 ROI. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 200% ROI. That's amazing. So what was kind of the aha moment? Like what made you go from where we were with that first testimonial video to now where we are today?
It was really taking the time to understand the metrics.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes.
It was, yeah, like I have lists upon lists upon lists of like stats and, CTR rates and all of that kind of stuff. And it was really for me to wrap my head around it and understand where the targeting was coming from, how to scale, what was working, what wasn't working, really dialing in and then skimming off the parts that I knew weren't doing well, right? And it was just trial and error.
Yeah.
Trial and error, right?
Oh, absolutely. No, that makes sense. Good. Now,
and another thing that was important, that was a huge thing for me was investing. I needed to invest a little bit into this.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Which I think is important because a lot of people think that you're building a business, literally. And there is no other business that I know, because I've done a few now, right? Where I can invest. It's not really even that much money, considering what your return can be potentially,
yes.
Right?
I agree.
So that was, taking a little bit of a risk, and
for sure.
It pays off in the end, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I tell people this all the time. It's like, obviously people know that I own a CrossFit gym, and to get into and actually start running my business, I had to invest $250,000, like to build out the space, and obviously it's a very nice space, but then I had to hire trainers, and I had to pay rent, and you know what I mean, like all these things, like whereas here it's like it's $1,000 for the course, $500,000 to get started. Obviously your ad spend happens all the time, but really in the whole scheme of things, like I will never make as much money in my gym as I can make doing this. Like, it's just never going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what people don't realize. Like, this is a business. If you treat it like a business, it'll do very well for you. And it's a long-term play, right? So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Awesome. So tell me about your experience, like as far as like, the course. Obviously, there's one question I get asked all the time is like, Robby, like, is there a lot of support in the course, or like, is there like, is it up to date? Like, is it a scam? That's always another thing I always get asked all the time. So just tell me your kind of your thoughts on that, and just so everyone watching.
Okay, so I've been a part of a lot of online programs because I run online programs myself.
Yeah.
And over the last like 5 to 6 years,
Sure.
And I can honestly say that this is the only program where I've had the best support out of this program, out of all of them that I've ever been in.
Yeah.
The content is current. Yeah. You guys are always uploading stuff, always, like almost daily, right?
Yeah.
Response rate for questions is unbelievable, right? Compared to like when I'm comparing to other courses.
Sure.
And it's actually, it's genuine. It's genuine. Like you're very genuine, and that shows, right? When you're replying to people, or when you're like, you want to help, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's honestly one of the best courses that I've ever been in.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Awesome. Now, did you have any like hesitation joining the course, or did you have anything that was like, were you skeptical at all, or anything like that?
Sure I was, because it's an investment, initial investment, right? And whenever I invest anything, there's always okay, is it going to be a good course? Is it going to be a bad course? Like, right. What am I doing? But yeah, I would 100% recommend it. It's a game changer. It's a game changer in the learning. Like everything that I've learned over the last 3 months, it's worth so much more than what you actually offer it for.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I try to do. I want to over deliver, and you're right. I do care about people's success. I want people to succeed because I believe at the end of the day, like, in order to get what you want, you have to help other people get what they want, right? And so that's really what it comes down to. And it's the reason why I started a gym, because I want to help people out too, right? So yeah, no, I appreciate that. So what would you say to somebody that's kind of like, on the fence? Because I mean, honestly and truly, I have people that message me like, I'm thinking about doing it. I've been thinking about doing it for a couple months now. Like, what would you say to someone that's just on the fence and just not sure about whether they should jump in or not?
Yeah, just do it.
Do it.
If you're interested in, creating some type of revenue like this for yourself, this is honestly the best place to learn, to come and learn how to do that and get the support, and literally be supported 100% of the time. All the way.
Yeah, I love it.
There's like no questions that are left unturned, in your program. Yeah.
No, that's great. Now tell me about your like, kind of wrapping this up here. Like, obviously you had your first $1,000 day, your first $1,000 profit day. Like, what are your big goals like going forward? Like, what do you want to, like, what level do you want to be at?
Oh, where do I want to go from here?
Yeah.
I think the next step is 10K weeks and then 10K days.
I love it. That's awesome. So how much did you make on that week where you had those couple big days?
I was at almost at 3,500.
3,500. Okay, great.
Going into I was 3 days in.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, awesome.
Well, I was there. I was getting there.
Right there. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Obviously, you had a little account issue, which happens, from time to time. And I think and let me tell you this. So, and let me ask you this: is like when you have issues with ad disapprovals, or your account gets shut down, what are for you, mindset wise? Because I know you're very resilient. Like you don't quit, right? Like what is because a lot of people quit, right? They have that first sign of resistance, they give up. So what's your advice to somebody that's kind of whether they're in the course now or they're thinking about joining, what would you say in terms of mindset? What do you need to do to be successful that way?
I don't know. I always say that if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And there's always going to be challenges in life and with anything, right? Yeah. So again, it goes back to building a strong foundation. When you take the time in the beginning to understand how it works, and take the time to build that strong foundation, it's just a bump in the road when stuff like this happens, right? Because it's going to happen, right? It's all in how you respond to it.
For sure. Yes.
It's either, it's your mindset. You either quit or you go, okay, it's just a bump and let's go again. Let's go again, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think, even for me, like if I ever have an account get shut down or whatever, I personally, I take it personal and I end up like, okay, I'm gonna open up 5 more accounts
Yeah.
and I'm really gonna stick it to on Facebook. So no, I think that's super important. I'm glad you said that because, at the end of the day, like with anything in life, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You go through challenges and it's all about, not quitting and just pushing forward and learning from those mistakes or whatever that's happened. I think that's super, super important. And I know that, I know you're just getting started, like, and I think it's so cool that, literally 2 months ago, you had zero experience. Like you didn't even know how to run ads. And then you just, now you had your first $1,000 day, like profit.
Yeah, it surprises me too, because I was resistant from learning like Facebook ads for such a long time because it was really confusing to me.
Yeah.
I would like log into the back end and it was like speaking a different language.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is not my zone of genius. Like, I'm just gonna stick to what I know. And then, yeah, like it's so clear to me now, and it just keeps getting clearer and clearer. And it's honestly because of the way that you've set everything up.
Sure.
It's so clear and concise, and like step 1, step 2, step 3, like baby steps, but in an easy, understandable way that I've been able to like learn it in the last couple of months, which is amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. So essentially, and I tell people this, and they don't believe me, but I'm like, you don't have to have any experience to get going and have success. And obviously, you're living proof of that, right? So that's awesome.
That's cool. Desire and drive.
Right, that's right. Yes, exactly. You gotta want it. You gotta want it. Well, awesome. So, kind of wrapping this up, last thing I'll ask you is what any other like words of advice for anybody, or any like tips or anything that can you learned that any success tips, anything at all you want to share before we wrap it up here?
Just ask questions. I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is that there's so much support that it's been an easy like transition progress. There is no stupid questions, right? And I had a lot of them. Like, I probably annoyed like so many people. But not even from you, like the group itself, like the people in the group itself, and the inner circle. So I'm part of the inner circle as well. Game changer, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Just to be able to have that,
Awesome.
So just ask the questions. Don't give up. Keep going. It's there. It's there for you.
Yeah.
And know that it can happen before it actually happens.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you got to believe it. Like, it sounds like, it's always a very woo-woo type of thing, but it's like, you got to believe you can do it. Otherwise, you're not going to, right? It's just that's the way it is, So I agree. Well, that's awesome. Well, I'm super excited to have you on, Jordana. I really appreciate you taking the time to, and I know this is going to inspire some people too, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are, kind of getting their own way, or they're like, oh man, like, I don't know if I can do this. And like, so it's super cool. That's why I do these videos, because I know that you're going to, inspire a lot of people too. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, awesome. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And obviously we'll put this on the page. So if you are thinking about joining Commission Hero, or you're already in Commission Hero, hopefully this inspires you and shows you what's possible. All right, guys, talk to you soon.